Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Jose Carlos Montejo, vocalist for the band Drive By. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's going on, caffeinated crew? On this episode, I'm joined by probably one of my closest friends, and this was so last minute that we're recording it after I announced the episode, but it's Jose Carlos Montejo, or Joey, Camo Barber. You know him, many aliases.
Hola.
How are you?
Very good, man. You?
I'm hot. I'm acclimated to Montreal now.
Oh, yeah.
It took 6 years, but I'm finally like, if it goes over 22.
Took long enough.
I know. If it goes over 22 degrees, I'm fucking dying.
Wait till we play in Merida.
What is it in Merida right now?
Like 40 degrees. Celsius.
I think my family is coming from Georgia, and it's probably close to 30 right now.
Holy then.
And so they're probably going to be like, oh, it's so cool here. Like, sweating my ass off.
Swampy ass.
I have swamp ass. It's Quithby.
Crispy, shout out to John wherever you are. Well, we know where you are.
In Australia.
In the middle of winter.
He'll probably hear this episode before we will, because I'll post it on midnight, so it'll be noon his time. So
Crispy.
Shout out John. It's Quithby. But yeah, Jose and I play together in the band Drive By.
Drive By.
Jose sings, obviously, if you listen to it, because he's the only fucking non-white person in the band that sings in Spanish. But yeah, let's talk about some coffee.
Coffee.
We're drinking the same thing.
Awesome.
I made this for you.
Thank you so much. It's delicious.
It's Tabi. It's one of our two new micro lots from Balance. Handsome little dinosaur guy.
Isn't it a dragon?
It's Godzilla.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be Godzilla. But this is another coffee from Wilton Benitez, Granja El Paraíso, in Cauca, Colombia. It's a yellow Tabi variety, and it's a natural process coffee.
Saludos, Wilton Benitez.
Yeah, we love Wilton.
From Valle del Cauca. Parcero.
He's super cool. I listened to an hour-long conference that he gave, where he talked about all of the science stuff he does to the soil to make the coffees grow a certain way, and then he talked about fermentation, which was crazy. But he's very nice. He invited all of us to come to his granja. So maybe one day.
Colombia, saludos a Colombia.
Saludos a Colombia. 100% hardcore Colombia.
Hell yeah.
It's Bogota is where it is. But this is blueberry, cherry, and dragon fruit. Do you taste any of that?
Yeah, a bit. It's fruity. I'm mostly into chocolatey, earthy coffees, but this is really good. The smells reminds me of Suave Cremas. These delicious cream wafers from Mexico.
Oh, it's like a cream wafer?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is so good.
Yeah, I roasted this actually like a week ago today. So usually with these coffees, I find I have to rest them for at least 2 weeks to a month or so before they get like nice and crazy vibrant. Mm-hmm. But this one's shaped up really nice.
It's really good. Kind of reminds me of some coffees from Oaxaca.
Ooh. I've only had one that you brought me.
It's true. I'll bring you more next time.
It's okay. I'm going in October, hopefully.
Oh, yeah?
So
Oaxaca.
Ooh. To Oaxaca.
Lots of mezcal.
I know. I got to prepare myself.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to start drinking at least one
bottle?
One bottle a night. Never again.
Never again.
Never again will we do that. But yeah. Salud. Yeah. You talked about you like chocolatey coffees.
I love chocolatey coffees.
But you usually brew espresso, right?
I brew espresso. I have a siphon, a Japanese siphon. I have an AeroPress. I do a lot of V60. A lot of drip. I do everything.
The V60 is the way.
Oh, I love V60.
It's my favorite.
I will say my favorite will be the Japanese siphon, but it takes a while, and I'm very lazy. So
Yeah.
it's like 15 minutes for a cup of coffee.
That's why I don't do it.
No, but it's very satisfying. Very satisfying.
I need to come over and try it one day because I really like how it looks. It looks
It's
fucking
beautiful.
sick.
It's beautiful.
But
It's hypnotizing.
yeah.
The little bubbles coming up and shit.
You like little bubbles?
I love the little bubbles.
What was I gonna say? There was something about the siphon. Oh, do you still do the cafe de olla?
I do café de olla.
What is your recipe?
If I give it to you, I will have to kill you.
Come on. For the people listening that don't know what cafe de olla is.
A proper café de olla. I honestly don't do it the proper way, the traditional way, which is in a clay pot. Normally, you boil coffee grounds, star anise, cinnamon, raw sugar, also known as piloncillo or panela. Some people add clove. What I do when I make it on a French press, I add like 30 grams of piloncillo, like ground piloncillo. It's raw sugar. I remember the exact amount. I think it was like it was like 50 grams of coffee for 600 milliliters of water, 2 star anise seeds, a little bit of cinnamon on the stick, and just for taste, a little bit of orange zest.
That's what I was gonna ask if you do orange
so
peel.
good. So when I don't have orange zest, I use Angostura bitters, orange flavor.
I know a lot of people use either orange slices or orange peel, which is cool.
Oh yeah.
My only thing is, because I've never had true, I've only had the French press way. I'm scared that the boiling, I know that you do it really slow and low, but it's still like...
It might not be the fanciest extraction method, but once you have it, it's delicious. Especially when it's very cold in the mountainside in Mexico. On the side of the road, you see the old lady selling pan dulce, and they're selling tamales or stuff like that, and you had like a hot cup of café de olla. Oof, there's nothing like it, especially because they serve it, if it's in central Mexico, on a clay cup, and if it's like in Oaxaca around there, a jícara. And that's amazing. Just the whole experience is amazing.
It's funny because have you ever heard of cowboy coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's literally...
I only saw this old guy make it on YouTube, and I fell in love with it.
I'm 100% certain it's from the times that cowboys were like going in and out of Mexico very frequently.
Los vaqueros and buckaroos.
Yeah, and like they like picked up on the cafe de olla, and they're like, well, we're not gonna add all the fucking... We'll just add the coffee in the pot.
Yeah.
And that's how we'll make our coffee. So I'm 100% certain that American coffee started like from cafe de olla.
Very likely.
It's crazy.
You ever try cafe de olla with Oaxacan coffee or Oaxacan chocolate? Just put a little bit of cacao, like the Oaxacan bitter chocolate, and if you can like pair it with some mezcal, whew, that's amazing. Smoky.
I'm gonna have to do that tonight.
Oh, will do.
Or I'll do it. Maybe tonight. I'm gonna have to stay. I know. I have to clean my house before my parents come tomorrow. So maybe I'll try to perfect it tonight so I can make it for them this weekend. It'd be cool. What is the best cup of coffee you've ever had?
The best cup of coffee. Honestly, is cheap. It's very cheap. It's not even great coffee, but it's the one I enjoy the most. It's Café de Olla from Café El Jarocho in Coyoacán, Mexico City. That's a tradition for me. Every time I go on the last day I'm in Mexico City, I go to Coyoacán, which is this beautiful neighborhood, colonial streets. It's really nice, and there's this coffee that's been around for like 60 years, very cheap, and that's the coffee I enjoy the most to this day. I've tried like crazy expensive coffees in La Cabra in New York, and I loved it, but the one I enjoy the most is that cheap Café de Olla from El Jarocho. Sitting there with churros, with a dona or tamales, that's the best coffee for me. It might not be the fanciest, but it's the one I enjoy the most.
I find it really crazy that experience and nostalgia can it can trump, for lack of a better word, it can trump quality.
Oh yeah.
A lot of times. Or even like price. Well, price you would associate with quality, but then like I know people that prefer Cafe Olimpico or like Cafe d'Italia in Little Italy because the experience is nostalgic and it's
it's the vibe.
Yeah.
Everyone's so nice at Cafe Olímpico.
for real. It's crazy.
Oh yeah,
And they're
love
so
the vibe
busy
there.
always.
I took Tony, my son, 15-year-old. He's like, hey, when you bring a date, don't go to like do the same things everyone does. Like take her to have a nice cup of coffee at Cafe Olímpico, and he loved the idea.
Now we just have to get him a date.
Of course.
It'll come soon enough. As soon as he starts learning to play drums too, it's over.
For sure.
It's over.
For sure.
Man, yeah, that's honestly, I'm very excited to go to Oaxaca. I haven't been to Mexico since I went to Cancun, but I don't count that. That's just America. I haven't been to anywhere like interesting since 2018, like when I first moved here. And
It's been a while.
yeah, we went to Mexico City and my God, I can't remember the name. Cuernavaca.
Cuernavaca is beautiful.
Yes, it's crazy. It's tropical,
It's tropical.
which is weird because it's in central Mexico.
Yeah. I mean, it changes so much. It's just an hour away from Mexico City. And in winter in Mexico City can be very cold. You go up the mountains, it's snowy in El Ajusco. And as soon as you go down Tepoztlán in Cuernavaca, it's 30 degrees. Full of flowers and rivers and
palm
springs.
trees.
Yeah, it's nice.
I was like,
So
what?
nice.
How is there palm trees here? Well, tell me a bit about what you were listening to growing up. I know that your background is a bit different, being outside of a Eurocentric culture. Well, I guess, yeah.
Well,
But tell me what was were you a new metal kid? What were you listening to?
I was like, of course I was a new metal kid, but I started with Mexican rock. Like I loved Caifanes, Maldita Vecindad.
Mhm.
Is a very important band in my life. Those were probably my first like musical influences. Also a lot of jazz. My dad was a jazz bassist, so yeah, I will play his records. My mom loved like Rod Stewart, The Cure. She loved The Police, The Smiths. So I grew up listening to that. But my first like musical choices was Café Tacuba, I will say, Maldita Vecindad, Caifanes. Then from there I went like in my around 10 years old. I got MTV for the first time, and I was obsessed with the Smashing Pumpkins. I really liked Pearl Jam.
Mm-hmm.
How I got into hardcore probably started with punk rock. There was this when I was in 6th grade, Green Day played a show at CBGB's,
Yeah.
and I was obsessed with that. I recorded on VHS and I watched it over and over and over. And from there I went to The Offspring, then obviously Tony Hawk Pro Skater came out, and I went to Punkoramas and all that stuff. Then the big change was this DVD CBGB's Punk from the Bowery. And now, I was in my crusty punk phase, listening to Tupa Tupa, what we call it in Mexico. All the Mexican bands.
The
A lot
deep
of-
stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Massacre 68 was a big influence for me. A lot of Spanish groups, Indios, Escorbuto, Argentinian groups, Dos Minutos. But then, when I saw that DVD, there was Agnostic Front, Chromax, Madball, and I was like, why the fuck are they wearing baggy clothes? And I was like, this looks like super fun. People jumping off stage and moshing, And in this DVD, there was also the Varukers, the Debotchkas, the Vibrators, and it's like, it actually looked. I mean, I'm not saying it's boring. It's just different. But like, seeing Madball, seeing Agnostic Front, so energetic, and it's like shit. This looks like a lot of fun, and that's how I got into hardcore. Like around 2001, 2002, I would say. I was listening to like punk rock like since I was a kid. Also, shout out to my homie Gerardo. His sisters introduced me to The Offspring actually when I was in 6th grade, and my first show was Green Day in Mexico City in 1998. Big show. It was fun. That's how I got into music.
I mean, that's pretty crazy though. Like 2001, 2002, a lot of people I talk to, they get into hardcore from like TUI
Oh yeah.
or like not until like 2008 and on. But I think you were into hardcore even before John Donnelly, which is pretty crazy.
Then he's old, but I'm older.
Barely.
Yeah, a few months.
But yeah. So John, I think we may have found your match.
That's why I love him, and he loves me.
The only he just stayed edge longer than you.
It's true. It's true.
How would it have been 20? How many years would it have been?
22.
Yeah, so
in
y'all.
October.
That's crazy.
I know. And a shout out to my homie Sergio from Factotum and Coa. Also, great time sharing music with him in high school. Different high schools though, but we both listened to hardcore at the time. 2002, 2003 as well. It was fun.
The new Koa EP. Shout out.
Coa is brutal.
Fucking love it.
Oh yeah. And Factotum 2, Por Enemigo, good stuff.
Yeah, that's a good kind of segue, because you spent your kind of high school, like teens and high school years in Mérida, which is outside of Mexico City. Was that where you were getting more into like hardcore, into the scene and stuff like that?
Yeah, I will travel a lot to Mexico City, and like, you know, before MySpace, before all that stuff, I was soul sick and shit like that. But I will mostly go to this punk market called El Chopo in Mexico City and just buy all the records I could, even some stuff that I had never heard of. I was just like, okay, give me everything that you consider worth listening to, and I will buy, you know, from The Addicts, Heresy. I will get a lot of Agnostic Front. I remember it was a big influence. Sheer Terror, a lot of stuff, and I would just bring it back to Mérida and just copy it and sell it to friends or trade it with friends. And the thing is that Mérida is very isolated, you know, from the rest of the country in terms of like scene, you know. It was in the 2000s, it was the only like musical hardcore punk scene. There was some really good bands in Cancun that I liked, some good friends, but Mérida was a lot more, you know, scene influence, you know, like it was a real hardcore and punk scene with a lot of good people, you know, good bands, Fuerza Interior, Brigada Esperanza. At that time I was playing in a band called Generación. A lot of really good guys, you know. So being so isolated from central Mexico, we had our own thing going on, and it was a lot of fun, cause like it was only friends, nothing but friends in the mosh pit, you know. It was fun. We brought some bands from Chile, from other parts of the country, you know, northern Mexico and stuff like that. It was fun. But yeah, I got into hardcore living in Mérida, but I was traveling to Mexico City a lot. I went to a lot of hardcore shows in the Hare Krishna temple in Mexico City. Shout out to Valmiki, Osvaldo. All these guys like were a big influence, you know, in my early years in hardcore. Especially going to shows at the Krishna temple, you know, I was starting into like, what the fuck is going on here, you know? They will give you donuts, some of the best donuts and sandwiches for free. Yeah. And like then there was a hardcore show, Tiempo Afrontar. We saw these bands from Guatemala, Venganza, what was the other one? Crucial, Sangre Joven. Those bands were so fun. And it was like a very interesting time because everyone was youth crew, positive hardcore, straight edge. So it was like two-step all day long. Those shows were good, and I was bringing that stuff back to Mérida and sharing with friends, you know. It was cool. It was a good time.
And what year did you move to Montreal?
I moved in September 2008.
My God. Okay.
Yeah.
When I was
almost 17 years.
And I mean, coming here, like, what was the biggest change?
Seeing like big name bands, you know, often. Like I saw Terror in Mexico City in 2006, but like having so many bands, you know, playing in the city all the time and being able to see one weekend. I remember the first, like, one of the first shows I went to was Sworn Enemy, one of my favorite bands at the time, and then there was Bane, and who else? Like a lot of bands. It was just mind-blowing for me going to so many shows all the time, you know, that were like from bands that I was only listening through records and or just streaming them at the time, you know, on LimeWire and shit.
Wait, so
that was a big change.
Was that the first time you saw Bane? Was when you moved here?
Yeah.
And you've been listening to Bane since
2000.
Yeah, like they came out basically.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wild.
I know.
For the amount that they toured, that they never came to Mexico.
It's crazy because they started going to Mexico. A lot of bands started going to Mexico when I moved here. Like, I remember Terror played in Mexico twice, 2005, 2006. Life or Death, Vendetta was there. First Blood, also 2006, I think. But when I moved here, like a lot of people work hard to make the scene grow. And a lot of bookers worked really hard, and they brought a lot of bands. But I was already living here. It was really cool. I was really happy to see bands going to Mexico. Even the first time Xibalba.
Zabalba.
No, Xibalba went to Mexico City, and they recorded the video for Hasta la Muerte. It was a venue that I played many times. Well, I went to many shows there. I played once at El Clandestino outside of Mexico City, Catepec, and I was really happy for the scene to grow, and like have more shows more often. It was really cool, but I was already here.
Yeah. Who were the first people that you met?
In Montreal, I will say Thomas. Shout out to the big homie. I met him at a show in Club Soda. I don't remember.
You saw him
who was
last
playing.
night. I saw him last night.
Shout out to the homie.
Shout out Toma.
Who else? Fuck, I don't remember. Benny Blanco, maybe. Benny Blanco from the Bronx.
From the Bronx.
Benoit, best chef in the scene. Who else?
Was the
I
scene
don't
like, was it
remember.
popping off at the time, or
Huh?
was it like popping off here at the time, or? Because it would have been Heartfest would have still been happening.
Oof, yeah. Well, Heartfest was like the last one was in 2015 and it was fun. Like I remember, I did go to local shows, but with working schedule and stuff, I was working at night, so I missed a lot of shows. But yeah, I remember a lot of the bands at the time. I remember seeing John, but he never spoke to me.
He was too cool.
I know.
So why wait? Because I know that you had tried to start projects in the past, like in different bands and stuff. But why was Drive By the first thing that you did here, like, and played a show?
Yeah, we tried many times with some homies, Rodrigo, the other Rod, the drummer, and we tried to play like hardcore punk, like a lot of California influenced, like Suicidal Tendencies stuff. We jammed, we started making music, and something will happen all the time. Like we tried like 5-6 times, even one time with Benny. I was also involved in a beatdown band named Raised by Swords, what like was going kind of good, but then like it just didn't work out for many reasons. Then I tried with you, and like during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Then the pandemic happened, and we just like, hey, are we gonna jam again? And like, it just didn't happen.
No.
And then like, when I stopped trying, Drive By just happened,
That's what happened. Yeah, because it was kind of a idea born out of
boredom.
boredom and being drunk at a dinner.
It's true, we were having tacos.
I also think it happened because John Parthenios was really bummed out.
I remember, yeah.
So.
And I said, yeah, let's make a fucking band and play. And he's like, okay, mate, let's go. And then like I went to Mexico City, and when I came back, I remember like, okay, we're gonna jam, and we started jamming a lot, and music started like happening really quick. Then Tomas joined. It was fun. It was really quick, and I'm very happy it happened that way, because like it's not that we don't take it seriously, it just happens, Music happens, and we have fun, and we jam, and we make music, and things have been going really well, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
What do you find that like it's easier now to write lyrics or to do vocal stuff, like, since you being in a band, like, I guess a while ago?
It's very easy for me to write lyrics. I don't know why. It's very easy for me.
It seems like it comes very naturally.
Yeah, like it's very easy for me. And the first show I was a bit nervous because it had been a while, since I played live. Mm-hmm. My last band was a Call for Revenge from Mexico City. Shout out to my homies from a Call for Revenge. Great band. So it had been like 15 years since the last time I had played. I was like, okay, shit. But then like the moment I got on stage, I was so pumped, and I was so happy to see so many friends, ready to mosh Turbo House. It was a lot of fun. So right away, I felt in my element.
Yeah, it was it's crazy. Like, I have never been a part of a band that wrote that amount of music in that short of a time. Like, I think John and I got together one time to write, and I think we wrote like 2 or 3 of the 5 songs like together at that time, and then John Parthenios joined the second time, and we just wrote the entirety of it. So within 2 jams we had wrote
like 4 songs.
Like, I think we had written everything almost.
Yeah. Shit, it's crazy.
And I think you came, we were jamming that on a few weeks, and then you got back from Mexico, and so we started doing it together.
I remember we were jamming, and I was writing lyrics on the spot.
Yeah.
And I had lyrics. I had 2 songs on the first jam session, like writing on the spot.
Yeah, I was like, well, I mean, this is fun. I guess we'll just do this to see what happens. and now people ask us to play shows.
Yeah, and I'm very happy about it. I'm very thankful for it.
I just think it's cool because we're not like actively hunting for stuff, because we all have like most of the band has other bands, and then you're working a lot too and have a kid, and even though he's almost an adult at this point, so but I like it. It's like
it's
zero
fun.
stress.
It's a lot of fun. It's true. It's zero stress. It's not stressful.
Like we just let it happen.
Exactly.
It's fun. What would you say you write most of your songs about?
Fuck. Most of it comes from a dark place. I vent a lot. I vent a lot with music, and I write about stuff that stuff that I feel. I try not to talk about politics. Sometimes it happens, when I'm very frustrated about situations. Like the last two songs, I was very upset about homelessness, and so I wrote a song about that, about like the cold streets of Montreal, and how people, kind of ignore people in homeless situations. That upset me a lot, especially working around the plateau and seeing a lot of indigenous people struggling. Kind of like made me very sad, and I wrote a song that day. The other one, it was a very ugly episode in Mexico, with narco violence and stuff. And I just felt it, and I wrote it. Like, for all the lyrics I write, like, there was one that it's kind of a love-hate letter to Mexico City. There's 99.9% of me loves Mexico City, but it's a very stressful place. However, it is for Funeral District. It's a song that I even like. For me, I was walking in Mexico City, and I was like, it was so stressful, but at the same time, the smell of tacos. And there's a line in the lyrics where it says the smell of burning fat makes me feel so alive, and it's true, because I was so frustrated in Mexico City, a lot of traffic, and I just like smell like suadero tacos. My favorite tacos is brisket tacos, and it smells so good that like all my stress went away, and I was just like, I'm just gonna get like tacos. And I enjoyed it, and I was so happy, and it made me feel like, shit, I belong here. This is my place, there's a lot of noise, a lot of pollution, a lot of like stress all over the place, and traffic, and it's crazy. But you have this, every corner you find a little joy, Everyone's so nice, everyone's so helpful all the time. But like those little things made me write that song. For the other stuff, I was very angry at the person that hurt me at the moment. For what's the name? Walk Alone. So that.
Oh yeah.
I use like however I'm feeling at the moment. I try to channel it, and that helps me write lyrics very easily, I will say. With Sold Out. Shout out to the homies. I wrote a song about The Office. Because I was very obsessed. I'm still very obsessed with The Office. I was like, okay, I need to write a song really quick. I need to use something. And I was The Office. And I took a lot of situations from The Office that kind of applied to personal situations in my life. It was like, shit. There was a line about Kevin dropping the chili.
Yeah, I was going to say, what character do you identify most with on The Office?
Stanley.
Stanley?
Yeah.
Why, you're just waiting to retire?
Yeah. No, kind of like, bitter.
You're just bitter, but then when you go on vacation, you're
exactly. I'm like Florida Stanley.
Yeah.
I also love Dwight.
I think we all want to be Florida Stanley.
Yeah, definitely.
Who do you think I am?
Meredith.
Meredith?
Yeah.
I think Nancy's Meredith.
No,
I think
Nancy's Creed.
Nancy's not
She's gonna
Creed.
be mad at me.
That's funny that you think that, because I feel like I'm Andy Bernard.
Yeah, you could be Andy Bernard. You're like a Meredith, Andy Bernard hybrid.
Because Nancy seems like Meredith to me, where it's like she's quiet
Nancy's
usually.
more Stanley than me.
Nancy is more Stanley than
It's
you,
true,
for sure.
True. Yeah.
But I think every time we watch it, like the first time you watch it, you're like, oh, I think I identify with this character the most.
Yeah.
And usually it's Jim and Pam until you realize that they're evil.
Oh yeah.
And that they have the most toxic relationship.
I despise them.
And then you want to be Michael.
It's true.
Because he's the sweetest person on
He's
there.
innocent. It's true.
Yeah. But then you realize you can never be Michael.
Exactly.
And so then you have to you realize that you're Gabe, and then your life is terrible.
It's true. Now I'm more like David Wallace. Just managing the crisis at the barbershop. Shout out to La Chapelle Barbershop and Tatuage Royal.
Yes, the family. Yeah, that's really funny that you're David Wallace, the CFO.
Of course.
Who I can't even think of a situation that I could put it in, but that's so funny. Then that means that Juan would be, or Will would be, the CEO of Dunder Mifflin?
No, Will is Tabi, 100%.
Oh, that's really funny.
Will is Tabi. 100%.
Who's he getting in fights with all the time? Who hates Will?
No one hates Will. My Will's always like, yeah, okay, so calm and chill and so peaceful.
Oh, I guess.
No stress. And went to Costa Rica.
And broke his neck. No, he didn't break his neck.
No, hell no.
Yeah, I've been watching Parks and Rec again, and every time I watch it, it just is more and more like Andy Dwyer, the Chris Pratt character.
Oh yeah.
I hate it so much because I'll just watch it. Well, me and Nancy will watch it, and she was like, "Why is that? Like, why do they know?"
I don't know. I haven't seen Parks and Recs that much.
Really?
Yeah.
You gotta watch it.
I struggle with comedy. That's why I love The Office so much.
Watch the IT Crowd.
I will, maybe.
It's British, but there's an Irish character.
Okay.
Shout out Ireland.
Shout out Ireland.
We got some stuff coming up. What's coming up?
What's coming up?
We're recording.
We're recording and we're playing. We're playing a few shows. We have July 1st with 2Ps. Bayway. Shout out to Be About It. Shout out to Extensive too. What else we have? We have in September we're playing.
We have some unannounced shows.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you want to drop them? What is announced?
No, not yet.
What is announced?
I don't know if I'm allowed to drop them, but so let's just say we have some shows coming up in September.
We have
in October.
Isn't there one in November?
There's one in November.
When is the...
September.
Oh, that's in September.
I think so.
Okay.
September 20th. But yeah, it hasn't been announced, so I cannot say anything.
It's a cool show, though.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be fun. Then we have what? Cesspool?
That, I think there's something with Cesspool in November.
Cool.
I think that's when it is.
And if we can convince, I'm not going to say who, just a member of both bands. If he says yes, we're going to Mexico.
It's Nick. We got to convince Nick.
I didn't want to say it because...
No, I'm going to put it on blast.
Mob lynched. Yeah, we have a few offers to play in Mexico with our homies, and that will make me very happy.
It'd be sick.
Oh, yeah. I would love that.
You want to be the guide for...
Of course.
For 4 white dudes in Mexico?
I'm going to get you all kidnapped.
That'd be fun. I'm down for that.
Me.
Who are you demanding ransom from?
No one, bro. I'm just going to sell the organs and shit. And the tianguis.
That's crazy. But the new tracks that we're recording, we're just recording them.
Yeah.
And
I guess we're going to drop them soon. I don't know if it's singles or what we're going to do, but we're recording very soon.
Yeah. It may be on a split. It may not be.
Oh, yeah. That'll be fun.
We'll see how it pans out. But it's probably going to be in the... I want to do them sooner than later, but it might be the fall.
Yep.
So, we'll see.
Dope.
You want to drop song titles?
Cold Streets, Cold Hearts, and the other one is called Narco Terror or Narco Terror.
Narco.
Yeah.
Terror.
Yeah. Not terroir. Terror.
Terror. Like wine. What's Tony's favorite hardcore band?
Oof. He loves Drain. His first band, I remember when Non-Stop Feeling came out in 2014, Turnstile. He loved it. He was obsessed with it. I would play it for him all the time. He was 4 years old. He really liked Big Boy recently.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say Drain. He also likes black metal and jazz. He likes like G-Funk.
G-Funk?
Yeah, he loves G-Funk.
That's hilarious.
I know. Gangster rap.
He needs to learn how to play drums.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, figured out. I have a shopping list for you.
Ame. Ask me about Ame. Ame is my wife.
What do you want me to ask you about Ame?
I don't know. Why is she so good at cooking? What's my favorite dish from Ame?
What is your favorite dish from Ame?
Birria. Birria and cochinita. And chilaquiles.
Because she's from Yucatan.
No, she's from Mexico City, but her family is from Yucatan.
Okay, so that's why she knows how to make cochinita. That makes sense.
Yeah, those are my favorite dishes from her.
Shout out Barrio.
Oh, Barrio is so good. Try the aguachile. And The gobernador's shrimp taco so good.
My favorite is mi gordo,
Mi gordo is nasty, but so good.
but I just like chicharrón.
Oh, yeah.
And try the tortilla. Just get a single tortilla
Yeah, good corn.
with the corn.
Oh, yeah.
Just get it on the side. Get agua chile with a tortilla.
So good. So good.
I've never seen you mosh.
No, I don't really much. Every once in a while, I'm semi-officially retired. I officially retired, let's say, at Sound and Fury 2019 with Half Heart. But every once in a while, I think the last time was with Madball or Bane. I think with Bane. Yeah, but I don't often. It's just because I don't like to get too sweaty. I like to be very clean and smell nice.
It's not because you don't want to get hurt. It's because you don't want to be sweaty.
Exactly. I can't stand being sweaty and going out. Especially, probably, one of the reasons I stopped getting to the pit that often in Montreal, it was in winter. When you're like mosh and you're all sweaty and you come out and it's freaking cold.
I hate that.
That might be it. But I really like to be very fresh and comfy. So I just judge people in the mosh.
If you could have an endorsement or a sponsorship from any brand
in the world.
For drive-by, who would it be?
Modelo.
Modelo?
Cerveza Modelo.
I was going to say Dickies. I thought it would be Dickies. Why that one, though?
Because it's delicious. It's toasty.
But it's toasty.
Yeah.
Toasty. Toasty. It's just because you want unlimited negras.
I don't know if you're allowed to say that word.
I'm definitely allowed to say that word. It's...
I was going to say ambar, but you say negras. Yeah, Negra Modelo is a dark Mexican beer. Delicious, my favorite. So that's one of the reasons. Also because the collaboration with Kappa and Modelo blew my mind.
So what, you want them to make special merch?
I would like drive-by merch inspired by Modelo.
I think we could make that happen.
Oh, yeah.
We could definitely make that happen.
But John doesn't allow me to make more merch until we sell what we have.
I feel like that's a fair deal.
I know he told me, don't make anything, don't order anything, because I ordered some hats.
Yeah. But it's fine. They look
course.
Fresh as fuck.
Of course. Buy some hats.
Shout out Max.
Shout out Max.
Yeah. Drive-by does have the sickest merch.
Of course, because I designed it.
I like drive-by merch more than I like bruiserweight merch.
It's because bruiserweight is like ranch and drive-by is like salsa picante el yucateco. Shout out to el yucateco.
We could make a yucateco shirt too.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
Or what if we made a hot sauce?
I wanted to make a hot sauce.
That
salsa
was like
matcha.
That was like drive-by, but it looked like a yucateca. But
That'll be dope. Yeah.
There's something there.
Of course, I'm gonna tell Ame. She's the right person to it.
She really is.
Yeah.
And then we just give the recipe to like a hot sauce bottling place, and they just make it and bottle it. And then we get like,
or make it DIY.
And we make like 20 bottles.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Let us know if you want drive-by hot sauce.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Put it in the fictitious chat if you want drive-by hot sauce.
Hell yeah.
It's called enchiladas de hoyo.
Enchiladas de hoyo. Your ass is on fire. What's the funny story?
Tell them how you and the guys tried to beat me up when we met.
Okay, yeah. It was Jesus Piece?
Yeah, it was at Jesus Piece.
Jesus Piece at the Ritz. Because we met Nancy, we were speaking Spanish outside of the Ritz, and she's, hey, where are you guys from? I'm from Mexico, Colombia. And we saw Grayson, in the back. He was like, she didn't introduce Grayson to us right away. He was like too close, and kind of like, we got overprotective. We know this new Mexican girl, and I wanted to introduce her to my wife. It's like, and we see Grayson just standing behind, quiet, looking at us, and it's like, what the fuck is up with this guy? Like, is he like harassing her or something? So just as nice, and who the fuck is this motherfucker? Oh, it's my husband, Grayson. And we became great friends.
I didn't even know any of that was happening.
Oh yeah.
So,
I'm glad you didn't notice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But right away we clicked.
Yes. And then during COVID,
oh yeah,
I was getting illegal haircuts.
Oh, of course.
So that was that did it. Man, I feel like there's a lot of stories, but then people are gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Oh yeah.
Like what's the? Because Drive By just started playing out of town. We played like one show out of town, but
Yeah.
we're starting to play out of town. What's the worst part about playing out of town?
Ryan farting, man.
Ryan farting?
or John snoring, man. If you can call that snoring, man.
dude.
But it was fun. There's no negatives. I had a lot of fun. Great show. Met a lot of really cool people. But yeah, Ryan farts a lot, man.
It's a lot.
Oh yeah.
I think he needs to get
But
looked
I
at.
loved it. I love every minute of it. It was a fun trip.
I think we destroyed that.
I wonder if the guy's still working at the desk of the hotel. He worked for like 48 hours straight. Poor guy.
And that poor toilet.
Oh man,
Dude.
I had to start a fire in the bathroom because the smell was so bad.
You were in there doing like Santa Sangre.
Oh, yeah.
Like Santa
Santeria.
Muerte. Santa Muerte.
Smudging that shit.
Well, we're getting the signal to wrap up because Jose has to do a haircut.
Oh yeah.
But before we go, Jose, let me know, what's your favorite city for Beans and Breakdowns?
My favorite city,
Yeah.
Mexico City.
It's like the largest city in North America.
I know, but it's so much fun.
I feel like I've only scratched the surface.
Oh yeah.
Is there more to do outside of Zocalo?
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Of course, Zocalo is very small compared to everything there's to offer.
Yes.
We'll see. Shout out to everyone in Merida too. Merida's dope. Montreal -- 1.
Montreal #1.
I love Montreal.
Me
I
too.
love the people in Montreal.
So many good friends.
Oh yeah.
We'll come out July 1st to see us play on a Tuesday with Two Piece
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun.
and Primal Horde and Drain Star. Yeah.
Gonna fuck shit up.
Jose, thank you.
Thank you, Grayson.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. And remember, drive-bys for the homies.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. A huge thank you to Jose for hanging out with me on this episode during his break at work. I really appreciate you doing that, Jose. Be sure to check out Drive By. You can find music in the links of this description. Also, we have those shows coming up if you want to check those out on our Instagram. And if you're in the Montreal area or going to be in the Montreal area and you want an amazing haircut, be sure to check out Camo X Barber on Instagram. I'll drop the link in the description as well. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can find out more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.